emotional burnout and exhaustion. This is a spiritual perspective and for general educational information only. This is not professional, medical, or mental health advice. Burnout can develop when you've been carrying too much for too long. If you can relate, if this is something that you're doing the inner work on, another term for it is shadow work. You may have another term for it, that's fine. But this is a part of being in this physical realm. When maybe you observe that you've overextended yourself, trying to make sure everyone else is comfortable, being a people pleaser. And so you realize that you have to show yourself some self-compassion. And self-compassion is not self-pity. So burnout can develop when you've been, again, carrying too much for too long. Expectations, deadlines, the pressure to keep going, to overextend yourself. Maybe you were on vacation and you were supposed to be resting, but you felt guilty for resting. You felt guilty for being on vacation. You felt as if you had to constantly do something to prove that you were worthy. So eventually you may notice, or you did notice, that your emotional energy, because emotions, that's energy, energy in motion. Your emotional energy, it may have felt depleted. You may have started to feel a little impatient, irritated, or simply tired of having to respond to one more thing. And that doesn't mean that meditation is some kind of magical wand that will remove the responsibilities. That's not the purpose of meditation. Meditation is not about uh, trying to run from reality. It's not a quick fix. You may want to check out that video if you haven't, or I talk about that in another video. But meditation, again, is not some magical wand to remove the responsibilities, and it's not another task to perform perfectly. Meditation is a tool. So the first step can be much simpler. Put the weight down for a moment. So what does that mean? What's that look like? You say putting the weight down for a moment. Just as you see, just like the stick figure here, that's placing down the heavy rock marked expectations, work, and tasks. Mentally stepping back and notice what you've been carrying. Now I'm going to move into a brief practice, and you can apply self-compassion to this practice. Now, sitting comfortably in a chair or on the couch or sitting on the floor, you don't need a lotus pose. This is about keeping it simple. And placing your hands in your lap or by your side, placing your feet on the floor if that feels comfortable, and notice the support of the chair beneath you. If you're sitting on the floor, notice the support of the ground, of the floor, of the earth, supporting you and grounding you. Notice your feet touching the ground. And let your hands rest. Again, your hands can be in your lap or by your side. And you don't need to change your breathing. You simply notice the breath coming in, the natural breath coming in, and one natural breath going out. And then bring your attention to the physical sensations of being here, the present moment. Your true nature within that physical bodysuit, your inner science that you may call your intuition, infinite source, your spirit, whatever term resonates with you, operates at the present moment right now. It's not going back 5 minutes ago, a minute ago, or 50 years ago. So bring your attention to the physical sensations of being here in this present moment. Your feet, your hands, the chair or the floor or the yoga mat if you're sitting on the yoga mat or the couch, the sounds around you. Maybe there's noise outside, the traffic, people are walking or talking. Maybe it's raining. And if your mind goes back to everything you have to do, notice it. You don't have to participate in the discussion, in the conversation. You just observe, notice it without judgment. And you can quietly say to yourself, peace, Peace, peace. Or replace it with a word that resonates with you. Then return your attention to your feet on the floor, on the ground. Return your attention to your feet on the ground. And that's the practice. This is the practice. And a part of the practice a part that you can add to the practice is placing your hands on the heart or just simply leaving your hands by your side and embrace self-compassion. Self-compassion is creating space. You creating space for yourself to be present. So with your hand on your heart, just visualize, if you want, the energy of self-compassion. You're embracing self-compassion as you're learning to let go of trying to overextend yourself. That's just an example. If you find that you've been trying to overextend yourself and you need to set up healthy boundaries. So this is the practice. It's not escaping your life. It's not pretending that everything is peaceful. You are practicing the ability to notice what is happening without immediately being pulled into every thought, demand, or emotion. And this is energy. And so you're reclaiming your energy. Now, research, and I encourage you to do a little research on this for yourself. Research on mindfulness-based programs suggests that they can help reduce stress and may particularly help with the emotional exhaustion component of burnout. Although they're not a substitute for addressing excessive workload or unsafe conditions or lack of rest when it's needed. So you're looking at showing yourself some self-compassion. And this is a simple practice. And you can change this practice. And you can start with 2 minutes. And you don't have to carry everything at the same time. You notice, you ground yourself, and you're placing your attention in the present moment. And you're inviting self-compassion in your space. And then decide what actually needs to be picked back up. I hope you found this helpful. Share your thoughts in the comment section. And thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing.